Hey guys, how you doing today? It's me, Kelly. So today, you guys know it's been a minute, and so I thought I would try to dip my toes back into my mixed media and do one of my favorite things in the world, which is a background. And so I thought I would show anybody who was interested while I talked and yapped on doing the mixed media background and with very limited supplies because my supplies are very limited at the moment. So, we're going to get started. Now, I'm going to use this canvas. And this, I don't know what size this is. It's been sitting here, so I guess my last video I probably said what size it is. But let's see. So it looks like it's maybe, that's weird, 10 by 14 maybe? So we're going to go with around that size. However, you can use whatever you have. You can do this in an art journal, shrink it down to an ATC, a piece of paper that you have sitting. I am all for going and buying cheap printer paper from your Walmart. Even the dollar store and stuff has, you know, mixed media paper and all that kind of stuff for $1. And laying it out, or I like to do it one at a time. Sometimes I do it, but I never have room. And just make a bunch of paper, especially if you're using, you know, cheaper paper. And then you can rip it up and have your own scrapbook paper in different colors. So what I'm going to do is we're going to kind of do it cheap and easy, as I used to say, but I have these papers I got from a book from the library. I mean, not the library, the dollar store. You can buy books there for $1, sometimes a couple for $1. And it doesn't matter what they are. This is, I'm like trying to get used to all my stuff here. This is just, you can see it's just regular paper. You can use magazine, whatever you want. But today I'm not going to use Mod Podge to begin. I'm going to use a good old stick of glue. And I used to use glue sticks all the time. Sometimes I will rip these to put around, but I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to just pick, I don't know, whatever side paper I want. And I'm just going to kind of lay it down. I'm going to take the glue stick, and this is the kind that dries. I'm not going to worry too much how thick I put the glue on, or if it's everywhere, or if it gets on my canvas. I'm not going to worry about that at the moment. I like to try to make sure my corners are done, but like I said, and I like to go sideways, crooked, you know, whatever way you want. And then I'll just lay this here. Not mad at wrinkles. If you have wrinkles and you don't like wrinkles, which I'm finding myself having a lot of wrinkles lately, take an old gift card, which I'm sure with the holidays coming, we all are going to have gift cards that we use and don't know what to do with. I like to use that, but I have no idea where mine is. So we're just going like this. And you see, it just pushes out the air bubbles. Then you can go back in. And like I said, I'm not so mad at air bubbles. But that's it. And that's really because I didn't get glue everywhere. So that's why I like to squish it back and forth like that. If you're working on a flatter surface of any type, it'll be easier. But I'll show you what I'll do after. Now, there's nothing on this side, which I'm not necessarily mad at because I can use this to write or stamp. So I'm just going to kind of go like that. I'm going to, let's do the twirly method. You know, there's all kinds of different methods for things. We're twirling it. Look at us go. There. And the reason I'm not cutting, usually I'll like tear them this size, right? Just because it gives more, and I might go back and do this. I could rip some of this off, but I can see here I need a little bit more glue here. So I'll go put that on in a minute. Right now I'm just trying to get my stuff. I think I am going to rip it. And I like that corner action. Okay. I'm going to lay it like this. Because ultimately why I'm doing this is, the goal is when I start putting paint down or what have you, I want some of this text to come through. So I really like that. And then I'm going to do this and do the whole method. Oh, we could do like let's do the snake method, I guess that's what I would call it. But it ain't doing real good, so it's just gonna go like this. Okay. You can see this is, and you can do this with the kids, it's really not that big a deal. I'm not going for any type of strategy here. Now, I can see that this is gonna be getting on my nerves. So it's sticking from right there. So I'll just take this. No harm, no foul, right? And I will, look at me. Get some glue down, because that's what it's about. Just sticking it down. Now, push it around. Now, do I want, because I kind of want paper like the words everywhere, so I will take, I'll leave these over here for later. I will take like that. And honestly, I'm just going to go over it. Oh, itch on my eye. I'll show you what we're going to do next, and it'll get the rest of that glue off, and then I'll do up here like this. Which this is, you can do it this way too. I was just trying to be, like, because I have a lot of new followers, and I was trying to have a little bit of class, but let's face it, I have no class. Okay, so that is where we're at. Okay, so I'm going to take a paper towel, old art rag, whatever you got. I'm just going to dip it a little bit in water like this, and I'll go over any of the purple I see, which really, it dries, it's not going to bother anything, but if it bothers you, and it'll just take that extra little sticky off. And make sure you wet your paper quite a bit, because once that glue gets on there, it kind of won't lift off anymore. So I'm just doing this. Look at me. And then when it does dry, it will be clear. You won't see it. Invisible. Okay. And something else I like to do, that's it, we don't have to go crazy. And like I said, that's really only if you want to and it bothers you. But I'm going to go in and I'm going to wet my paper towel or whatever you have, and I'm going to go over the paper that I glued down, and I don't care if some of it ripped or not. And that'll just help a little bit with the sticking down without bubbles. Now, you can see this lifted up a little bit. If this is like, oh, I can't do this, then, use your Mod Podge. I just know a lot of people don't have time, space, and they're like, what am I going to do? I want to do stuff too. So this is just an easy way to do it. It might take you an extra minute, but hey, at the end of the day, who cares? Okay. Because Mod Podge will be coming out, but this is just to get a first coat. Because Mod Podge will, we want it to stick everything. Alright, so now what I want to do is decide a color to start. And you want to do light. I like to work light to dark. You can do dark to light. It's up to you. I think I'm going to go with this light blue. And I'm going to take it, and this is from Apple Barrel. It is Cloudless is the name. However, use whatever you have. I'm going to go with a gross big brush, which is what I use this for glue in this. I'm not wetting it at first because I want to see if I'm digging the texture that I get. be everywhere. Just kind of laying it down. Lay it down. Lay it down. Alright. Oh, just flip some of that paper off. How you like that? Okay. Really, literally, that's where we're at. And if you want to start counting layers, that's layer 2, because this is layer 1, the paper, layer 2. If you see little pieces peeling up, don't worry about it. It'll all be attached at the end. So, what color do I want to do next? I want to stick with the blues and pinks today. You know what I'm going to try? Let's see. This is the Distress Stain, and it's spun sugar. And I know I play with these all the time, and they sit and stare at me. I know it's going to suck into the paper. I'm okay with that, but let's just see. Because these are like the colors that I want to... Come on, baby. Could be dry. Dry it all up. I don't think it's going to be as vividly pink as I wanted, though. Anybody want to start our own craft supply brand? Art supplies? I have so many ideas. Let's go over the, come on, baby, why aren't you working on it? Yeah. The paper, right? Just to add some color. Oh, it's like Kool-Aid. Okay, I'm going to turn it around. Because I always suggest to turn it so you get different views of it. You hit different parts on it when you're just throwing color down, and that's all we're doing is just throwing different color down. I want some drippy. Let's see if I can squeeze it. My hands are not doing good today. Okay. Let's see. Oh, this is like old school. Dripping everywhere. Okay. Now, if you don't if you don't have it and you can't throw it like that magically, if you don't have this, but you're like, I kind of dig that watercolory look, right? Take your favorite color acrylic paint, light pink or whatever, or get an empty bottle, because I love to save these and reuse them. Water and some food coloring gel, food coloring, whatever you have. You can go to the dollar store and get it, and put a little bit of red and really water it down, and this is what you're getting. I'm not gonna lie to you. And then what I do is I put a little Mod Podge in it, shake it up. You got a nice permanent, I'll say almost permanent color, and more things to play with. And if you want a video on any of that, how to make stuff like that, I will gladly do it. All right, but that's that color, and I'm okay with that. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna let this dry. I'm going to take my glue stick, and anything that I see coming up that I might, like this needs a little bit more, once it's dry, I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna add more. Now, mind you, this is children's washable glue. There's a million different, there are ones that are stronger that you can get. But I'm going to just kind of go and touch up where I think there might be a lift in a little bit. These bubbles and all in here, I am not worried about. You can push them out if you want. Do whatever you want. But it needs to fully dry, because your glue needs to fully dry as well. So don't forget that. But I will be back, and then we will go on to the next part. Okay, so you can see it's dry. I love the mutedness of it. So you can tell here I tested these. So I picked 3 more of these. Now, this is blue. It is broken china. Again, these are distress stains, and you can make this with watercolor. Water and food coloring or watercolor, whatever. You're just watering it down. So if you don't have this, it's no big deal. Take some watercolor or acrylic paint. I water it down real good, and then I use that, which I'll show you an example of when I'm done laying this on. So I'm gonna just kind of go in. You can see this is a little darker, and then I'm gonna go in with my brush with a little bit of water, and I know it's gonna suck in on the paper, and that's okay. If you don't like that, let me show you. You can do this. You gotta take the lid off though because I'm a spaz. Go like this. You have to squeeze. These are so hard to use. I should just take this thing off, but then I'll make a mess. So you put it on something that is non-stick. Take your brush, wet it. Do the same with whether it's watercolor paint, acrylic, and then just get in there. And then you can move it around better. It flows more. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me that it gets stuck in the papers. Do you know what I mean? But you can definitely do that. And you can see I have spots like that all over. And I'm going to go in here. And here. A little bit there. A little bit there. And then I can just move her around. And it dries fast, as you can see, so that's good. So this is called, oh, I can't read today, Seedless Preserves. It's like a plum. I'm going to lay it. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Go like this. Just do a mark here. Do a mark down there. Look how pretty. And then you can just move it with your brush. Your brush is a little wet. It brings it, you know, you're moving it on to the paper. Very nice. And the more you water it, you know, you're getting different degrees of that color. If you do like I did right here, and it's like, oh no, it covered that blue, and you don't like it, just go in with your paper towel, and look, you get these great marks. So as it dries, it's adding a bit of texture itself. Now this color, obviously it's everywhere. It's picked raspberry, and I'm sure he's going to be beautiful. So I'm just going to lay it like this and go down. We're going to do a little bit here. Push it here. Push it here. See, like the more you push it, the more you get. When you push it real good, you know what I'm saying? Okay, and I'll have enough color left on my brush if I want to move it about anywhere. But because remember, this little bit will be peeking out at some point, right? We're just kind of doing a background here. See, I love how it grabs on to like the texture of the paper. Like that. I need a little bit in here. I'm looking at my balance is a bit off, but I'm going to go here. I'm going to go with a little bit more blue here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of alcohol. Let's see. And spray it. Now, it might already be soaked in too much. And that's okay because we're going to play regardless with another part of it. Let's see. Is it running, making spider webs? I don't know if you guys can see this. Can you see it kind of running there? I want to do that everywhere, but I don't think I'm gonna. It's gonna take too long for my little brain today, so I'll just go in and push it around. But that's fun to do as well. I love the smell of alcohol. I don't know, I must be sick. A sick girl. Okay, so let's say you don't want to do it with, you know, watercolor or food coloring or what have you. Well, I'm going to dry this just for a second, just quickly. Now, if you don't have a heat gun, you can use your hair dryer. There's a debate over the heat gun, but you see, I'm not holding it, because if I held it here, it's going to lift up that glue. I'm just moving it around to take off the excess water and to dry it. No harm, no foul. I love my heat gun. I've tried a hair dryer so many times, and I just, you know, I just like this. Better, easier for my hands and for me. But use what you have. If you only have a heat gun or you only have a hair dryer, do it. Okay, like I said, I don't need it all the way dry. I'm not too concerned with that. So let's take some, kind of want to stay the muted. So I'm going to take a little bit of green, and this is called Spring Pasture. And I'm going to move this for a second. Move my stuff for a minute. I know I have to work over here so you can see it once I put my band back, but my canvas back. So I'm going to squeeze a little bit. Well, it'd be nice if you could see. Let's see. Can you see here? Yeah. Squeeze a little bit. That's it. You know, you can get these at the dollar store too. These are fun to use. Maybe I'll do that next. And then just take a little bit of water. And we're just going to mix it up. That's it. Take your canvas back or whatever you're working on. Dip it in a little bit of water if you want. God knows what else was on there. And then just go popping it on. And of course you could do it heavier, and I don't want it to like overtake the color. I might need a little bit more actually. I gotta get my camera a little bit better for the next time I record. If I do, who the heck knows? But that's what you do. Okay. Go a little bit thicker. Ugh. Just to get it on the edges here. I want that like pop. And then I'm going to take my paintbrush. Get that nice and watery. And then look at that. Same thing. And you can mix this in a old spray bottle that you got from the Dollar Tree, or that you had maybe body spray in, or not. I wouldn't do it if you have bleach or something, but you know what I mean? Like I use Febreze bottles. I do it all. I use whatever I can get, but you can get them at the dollar store now. I think maybe even 2 come in a container. So, I'm sorry if you hear my dog. He's up there crying. He wants to, I don't know what he wants. He wants up here, he wants down here, he wants up there. So, I'm going to do that, and then just maybe before it dries in there, give it a smudge. And if I look at it and I say, oh, that's too, I need a little bit here. That's too much. Then you just take your brush or even your beauty blender and just move it about and just kind of push it out. And it'll dry later than it is, so you're good. Some people don't like those straight lines. They like, you know, they like it to be blended a little bit more, so you do what you want to do. Okay. All right, I'm happy with that for the moment. I'm going to dry it again. Not all of it, but Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And you might see some of your paper maybe lifting a little bit right like that. I'll get it. It's just because it's wet. Once it dries, as long as it has contact to something, it'll be fine. But I'll put a little bit more glue right there. But you can see, like, when the paper gets wet, it kind of gives a little bit of, like, you know, wet little, I don't know, boogers. I don't know what they're called. But I don't care. They'll dust off or they'll just add to the texture. I'm going to be painting over it, so this is just where I'm going for the background. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time doing that. I am going to glue that down a little bit. You can see right here. All of it up. That was all I had, so not mad. And if I do, I'll just go back and do it. Okay, so now what I want to do is, I think my last video I did these. You get these at the dollar store. Look at them. Now I know when I use this, that when I put Mod Podge or anything over it, it's going to take that sheen away. And I'm not mad at it because I can always get another piece and put it on top, which I'll probably do as some shiny pieces coming through, if that makes sense. But I'd like to add these stars, so I'm gonna do my best because I'm a mess. All right, just gonna pull some of this. I'm gonna open it because you only get that front page. Like, that's it with the stars, I think. Maybe you get one on the back, but that's all I'm gonna do. Now, don't throw this out because look at that. Oh, the stuff you could do with that. Oh, which we might. But look how cute. So now I'm going to get out the Mod Podge. Give it a shake because it's been a minute. Okay. Clean my brush off a little bit. Not going to worry too much. And then I'm going in. Ooh, stir up, baby, stir up. She's like, girl, you ain't been down here in a minute. Okay. So, I'm going to tear it, but I know that I'm going to have a face in here somewhere. So I want to kind of stay, you know, I want this to peep through. And I'm just going to rip, probably in 4 squares. Because then when I do this, like I said, the stars aren't going to twinkle the same. But remember, Mod Podge dries clear, and then you can see the stuff coming up through it. I like it here. A little bit more. Okay. Guess I'm gonna stick on the edges maybe. I can always get, I have more I can always do. Because you never know how much is gonna show through. You know what I mean? Once you start. I know her head. Who knows? Maybe she'll have big head. I don't know, but I'll just lay her there for now. I don't even know what I'm going to draw yet, but who knows? Who knows? So this is going to be another layer. Napkins at the Dollar Tree, fantastic. Which all this is from the Dollar Tree. The only thing that's not is the only thing that is not from the Dollar Tree, obviously, is the canvas. But yes, you can get canvases at the Dollar Tree. I have many videos on it. They do sell them now. You can get flat or, you know, these kind wrapped. You can get the napkins at the dollar store. You can get empty bottles. spray bottles at the dollar store, and you can get your food coloring at the dollar store. You can get your book at the dollar store. So all this, and they even have, believe it or not, they have little bottles of Mod Podge at the dollar store. So I thought about doing a like dollar store little startup craft to give away. I haven't quite decided, but I'm good with that so far. Now I can take some of my glue now if I I'm worried about anything, and I can just go put it on these edges. If I'm like, oh no, I want to make sure these edges stay down as I keep adding media to it. You don't have to, but this is all you would do, is just go on the edges just to make sure that they're on there. But you can see, I mean, I'm moving around and nothing's coming up, so hopefully that means I'm in good shape. Okay, so now I will be back once this dries, and then we're gonna go on. We're gonna do maybe a couple stencils, and then maybe some stamps. Okay, I didn't realize how long this video was already. I'm just sitting here enjoying myself doing this, and then I'm like, oh my. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the next step, and then end the video, and then I'll put up another video where I do what's on top of it, or like continuing, because I've been talking a lot and I haven't paid attention. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some stamps now. And I got some blue stays on. Will it work? We never know, because I ruin all my ink pads all the time. So, oh, she might be glued together. Okay. Look at that. Now, never waste. And let me show you what I mean. You look at all that delicious blue on there. Spray just a poop a little bit of water, and use your brush or your makeup sponge, whatever, and you can get that off very nicely. So I'm not worried about getting a very clean, crisp stamp. I just want some texture, and if it happens to be that way, that's fine. But oh, she got some pigment. Okay, and I don't care where I stamp. Like at this point, I don't care, because you can see like that's not coming through. But you'll see at the end how it just adds. Now, if you want it to be like a full, oh my table's going, it's moving everywhere. On here, because it's a wrapped canvas. But you see, you just put your hand under and you can get whatever you want. And do it that way if you want. And I just like this blue, so la la la. And of course, if you have a piece of paper sitting next to you, you want to, what the heck? You want to just stamp off on there so you don't lose that delightful print and ink. Okay, and because this stays on, when it dries, it's permanent, so it stays on. Because that's okay. So now I just have these cute little hearts, not for any other reason than they're cute little hearts. They're not going to necessarily show through. Same deal, same as the first. And then see how you just get those cute little hearts. Now, what I love, and I almost did it, and then I was like, oh, I'll decide once everything's dry. The texture on this, and I'll show you close up. I might take the white napkin without the stars and put it over certain areas. I haven't quite decided yet. And that's all I'm doing. Because if a few, I don't even have to put ink on the whole thing. If just a few of the hearts show through, that's what I want. Because when I come back after doing all this, you're going to be like, oh, why are you doing that? Because I love to throw white over everything, or black, depending on my mood. We'll see what my mood is when I come back. But now I also have this stamp that I like to use, but I don't know. I might wait until I have her sketched out. I don't quite know what I'm going to do yet. But I got a stencil, and you know, this can go anywhere because like I said, it doesn't really matter as far as where it's at or anything like that. I want it to shine, I want it to come through, but I don't know what color I want to use. Do you know what I mean? Oh God, Cal, nobody has 6 hours to sit with you while you decide something. I think I'm going with, oh, let's try one of these, the brighter pink. If you have a spray, you can use the spray. Like I said, my art room got flooded, so I just got to redo my life. I don't have much so down here, so we're playing with what we got. And that's the whole point, isn't it? Is using what you got. Okay. That's quite a mess because this is very liquidy. So let's try it. And let me dab. Let's see if we dab. And it's for you, dabbing. I still remember even though I haven't done videos. Okay. No, it's still too wet. So, am I mad at that? No. I'm going to lay this on my white here to take the rest of that juice up. And I'm going to leave it dry. I'm going to just leave it dry. But we're not going in with that. I'm going to go the opposite way. And I'm going to use Tulip green. Straight up. I'm not even going to... I'm going to beat it around. Let's see. This is the fun of doing mixed media, though. There's no, like, right or wrong. There's no, like, oh, I messed up. This will just make an orangey brown. Yum, yum. But that's okay. You go with the flow, maybe. Yeah, see how you got that in there? And then, well, see, her head's going there, so I don't know. Not that it matters, but... Oh, shit, Kel. Alright. Just gonna bang it. Oh, let's bang it. Bang it a little bit here. Okay. Alright. Of course, you make it whatever way you want. You use what you have. Don't have this? Use paper towel. Don't matter. I'm going to go here. I'm going to turn it over this way and do it. So it kind of splashes. Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. Not mad. Not mad. And then I got to wipe this up because you guys know I'll wear it. But yeah, so that's like the first stage. So I'm going to let this completely dry. And then I'll be back to do the next phase. But let me just show you. Because it's hard to see, you know. I got that big old bloop. But I'm not worried about it. First of all, the face will cover it. And second of all, I'm going to go over it. So there. So that is stage 1 of my mixed media canvas. I hope you guys enjoyed sitting with me and listening to me blab on, trying to reteach myself, get back in the flow of things. And I might even have to turn this way. I don't know. See, this is why I shouldn't do things. I'm going to try to get the stars cleaned off a little bit here. Just move it. Okay. Yeah, so I'll be back in another video. Hopefully, maybe I'll finish this today and then just upload it tomorrow or the next day. And I appreciate you guys sitting with me and watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and I hope to see you. Leave me comments and let me know what you guys think. As always, please be kind to each other. You never know what battles somebody else is fighting. And as always, stay safe. Bye, guys.